And KX wants to include as many North Dakota communities as possible because cerebral palsy and other early onset neurological conditions are not just in urban areas, they're everywhere. So keep calling the number on your screen and donate $1, $5, $500 if you want to. You can donate online at the website below because this is such a great organization and we're so excited to be here today. I personally met with some experts on cerebral palsy. I learned a ton, and as some of the experts knows firsthand the challenges that come with CP and how to overcome those challenges.
I never thought I'd be doing this in a million years.
This is Kyle Erickson, North Dakota native, a college graduate, a business professional, a comedian, and a person with cerebral palsy. Kyle was diagnosed when he was just 9 months old.
I wasn't hitting my milestones. My mom always shares this big story with me that first time she knew something was up was it was in the middle of summer, and you know, flies in North Dakota can get bad, and I was just, my eyes were following them, but I wasn't like swan at them.
Erickson is now a research associate at the NDCPD, which is the North Dakota Center for Persons with Disabilities. It's the very same place Kyle's mom took him when she suspected something was different about Kyle.
I mean, here we got some of the early interventionists involved in my situation. Yeah, we sort of went from there.
Signs of cerebral palsy, or CP, can be identified in someone as young as 6 months old.
So many of those early developmental milestones are about motor and physicalness, and so you're going to probably see those signs pretty early. So if the baby doesn't have the proper muscle tone to hold up their head well and stably within the time frame that you would expect, that's an indicator, right? If they're not able to stand and balance themselves, that's another indicator. Being able to roll over fluidly. So even saying first words. So it's very common for children with cerebral palsy to be identified even 6 months to a year into their life.
The CDC identifies CP as a group of disorders that affect a person's ability to move and maintain balance and posture. Cerebral means having to do with the brain. Palsy means weakness or problems with using the muscles. CP is not genetic. It develops when some type of injury occurs before, during, or soon after birth.
If the baby has some kind of deprivation of oxygen, so let's say the umbilical cord is compromised in some way and the baby lacks oxygen during the birth time, that could leave a little brain injury or a little brain scar. A stroke, a prenatal stroke or a stroke that happens shortly after birth. Accidents where perhaps in the olden days they used to use forceps when they would deliver babies, and sometimes squeezing the head put pressure on and actually caused a brain injury or brain bleed that affected the person. Being born prematurely.
Just because someone is diagnosed with CP doesn't mean they can't live a normal and full life. The symptoms of CP vary from person to person. There are also different levels and different types.
Cerebral palsy does not necessarily indicate that a person isn't going to have a normal intelligence or be able to have a successful job or career or college education.
And Kyle Erickson is a testament to that. Not only does he live everyday life independently, doctor's appointments, grocery shopping, getting to and from work, he's also turned his hobby of comedy into a career that makes light of his experiences living with CP.
I found out the hard way that a cop pulled me over coming home one night. And did you know you can get a DUI in a wheelchair?
No.
Yeah. yeah, I didn't know either till just that moment. So yeah, you better. I won't give you one, but you better. So I don't even. What are they gonna do? Take away my license?
Kyle says even though he makes light of his situation, there have been some hard times too. He says the most challenging part of his disability living in North Dakota is the transportation aspect.
A pretty big obstacle from like when I was going to start working was I don't drive. So it's like, okay, how are you going to get back and forth to work? Mine in here locally has service basin, but the hours are limited. And they only run during business hours. So if you want to do anything after, 6, 7 o'clock, sorry. And, and other communities around the state are really limited too. Like, even the bus, most of the buses are handicapped accessible, but again, limited hours.
But Kyle says NDCPD is a fantastic resource to have, and says if they don't have the answers you're looking for, they have the resources to find the people who do.
You can write an email asking a specific question. People will ask us everything about disabilities in the school system, how to pay for things, what people's rights are so that they can be sure they understand that they're not being taken advantage of. You name it, we get those questions.
Kyle says, above all else, what has helped him the most through his life is staying positive and always reaching for the stars.
Don't give up. I mean, you might have to do things a little bit differently, but there's a way. Well, there's a will. Where there's a will, there's a way to do everything.
Kiara Brown, KX News.
Capable is the bridge for all of these individuals and families. That's why it's so important to donate to this amazing cause.